Something a bit different today. The DAB radio module in my car stopped working. My current car is a 2013 Jaguar XF model. One day, for no apparent reason, the DAB radio access on the display disappeared entirely. This video shows where the DAB module is situated, what the problem was and how it was fixed. All that initially happened was that the DAB radio options disappeared from the touchscreen. The radio still worked, but only in FM mode. What you're looking at on screen is the actual DAB radio module. When I started Googling to try and find out where this thing was located in the car, it was a minefield. Finally, on my 2013 Jaguar XF Sport Brake, I found it underneath the front passenger seat. I booked my car into a local Jaguar specialist because they had the advanced diagnostic tool, which when plugged in told me that the DAB radio module wasn't working, and that cost me £54. And when I asked this garage for an estimate to replace the DAB module, they said it was going to be £700 plus VAT, which is 20% extra. What I decided to do was take the car into the garage that I use for my servicing, and who recently replaced the timing belts on the engine. Initially, I asked the mechanic to find out where the DAB radio module was located and, if possible, fix it. It was located under the front seat, as I've just mentioned, but also it was very wet. Here's the underside of the DAB radio module, and you can see these recesses where the circuit board is screwed in place. This effectively lifts the circuit board so it's not right at the bottom of the box. Externally, the module looks very simple. There's a green power supply input. This bit contains two optical sensors. I think this is the CAN bus system, and here are the aerial connectors. A lot of modern cars use this CAN bus system, and it's quite a good idea until one of the modules goes wrong. The information I found via Google about DAB modules in Jaguar cars was not very good, and that's why I'm making this video. What I would like to point out is the fact that there are many of these modules for sale on eBay, from around £60 to £100, but you have to be very careful. From what I can gather, and I'm no expert, this letter is important. On my 2013 model, it's a letter K. Whilst I was manically Googling, looking for information about this module, I found something quite official from Jaguar which stated that early DAB radio modules were having problems, owing to the technology advancing. I bought this car when I reached the age of 65 and started to draw my old age pension, and here is a very convenient shot of me parking in an OAP, Old Age Pensioners parking spot. Currently, in October 2021, the car is now 8 years old. And now it looks like this. The passenger side had been flooded, and I was keen to find out where the water was coming from because it wasn't obvious at first. It took me 3 weeks to dry it out because all of this foam rubber acted like a sponge and soaked up the water. When I was driving about in the car, I turned the heating on the lower part only, in an attempt to dry out the underside of the carpet. This is the front part of the passenger side. The black plastic part is the air vent to the rear of the car. And here is the carpet along with the seat in the back of the car. I drove the car about like this for about 4 weeks, and that's how long it took to dry out the carpet. This foam rubber is very useful for soundproofing, but it's not very good if you have a flooded floor. At first I couldn't figure out where the leak was coming from. Was it coming from the air conditioning? But no, in the end it was coming from these vents. As you can see already from this year, even though it's just been cleaned, there are some leaves on top of the vents. The problem was confusing because when I turned a hose pipe on the car, nothing leaked. But if I left the hose pipe clipped under the windscreen wiper to provide a lot of water, then yes, it leaked with a vengeance. The car went back into the garage and this front part was removed, and the mechanic found that the airbox underneath this grille was filling with water, and when the water got to the top, it overflowed into the car. And in the end it was just a blocked drain pipe. The pipe was blocked by a load of decomposing leaves which were holding together all the normal dirt and grit that gets in here. Autumn 2021, and leaves are falling on the car once again, but this time I'm going to remove them. This is something that I've never had to do, and I've had quite a lot of cars over the years. The final thing to mention about the DAB module. Here's the replacement module fitted in place. I've done two things. First of all, I lifted the position of the DAB module by putting rubber grommets underneath. and as the belt and braces approach, it's now wrapped in a polythene bag to help prevent any future water ingression. This is a brand new DAB radio module, a Jaguar Land Rover part, and if you look at the last letter of the serial number, it's a letter P. If I revisit the previous clip, you can see on the old module that was taken out of the car, it was a letter K. And it appears to me that a new module will work on an older car, but maybe an older module may not work on a newer car. And there you have it, it's been a very expensive September 2021. The new DAB module cost £329, plus all the fitting and taking the seats out, etc. Not forgetting that in September I had the engine's belts changed, which is a big job, a service and an MOT. But looking on the bright side, the car sailed through its MOT test requiring nothing doing to it, and now the water is staying on the outside of the car where it belongs. And now everything's put back together, I have carpets and a passenger seat again. And I also have a fully functioning DAB radio module. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope this never happens to you, it's been a pain. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.